Good morning. How is everyone doing? Let's take a look at yesterday's trade. I'd like to do a review. Just kind of things to look for when you're in the position I was in yesterday. So for those of you who didn't know, I did take a loss down here yesterday. And then I tried going for 2-to-1 in this area, but that did hit a supply zone, which I was willing to take a shot at, which didn't work out. I thought it could break through the zone. Fortunately, didn't. Price came back for a break even, so I had the one loss yesterday, and I had the other loss from Tuesday. So a lesson is, sometimes you just gotta take what the market gives you. I'm sure you've heard that before, especially when you're entering a zone such as this. But yeah, later on in the day, there's nothing here that I liked. This zone I did not draw out. This one here I added later, which did hold up. This other zone down here, this bluish green area here, was the 1 minute. Price didn't quite get there. It held in the 5 minute and then pushed back up. Discount was at 187.5. And news came in at about 2 p.m., which I didn't bother trading. For those of you that do trade news or don't understand what happens when news comes out, it can get quite volatile. And the speed of these candles are just too quick that I wouldn't take an entry unless I can clearly define a spot quick enough to take the entry. This could have been a possible entry which would have taken me out, and then I probably would have taken another entry long here. Best case scenario was the 1-to-1, right? I would have just made back what I'd lost had I taken an entry here. So, and then after 6 p.m., we did have this gap. So market opened with this price gap and pushed up to 625 and then started retracing. Now, for those of you who watched yesterday's live trade, I did talk about how price would come down, fill that gap, and then push back up. In this scenario, you notice it didn't quite fill it all the way. It only filled it halfway and then started retracing back up. So be aware of that. Sometimes price won't completely fill and then begin its move back up. So today, right now, there was an opportunity earlier. What time was that at? 8:17. Now, there was news this morning at 8:30. I didn't want to get caught up in it, so I didn't bother taking a position. So I just left it. I didn't want to think that price would shoot downwards quickly and take me out, so I didn't bother taking an entry. I just watched price move, and it wasn't as volatile as I thought, but at the same time, I mean, I would have gotten the 1-to-1. I once again would have tried going for the 2-to-1 again. I would have definitely been taken out. As price retraced here, broke through the last swing high, tapped my stop loss. That would have my stop loss at 68 3/4, and then pushed back up. So I've drawn out this zone. of the 5 minute, which I like. See what happens. Now these other two zones are off the 30 minute. I just highlighted to show you the difference. Once again, any gray areas, such as these, are the 15 minute, but this is the 30 minute. I like what I saw off the 30 minute. This is the new high of day, which is, what's that at? 623 is the new high. We did take out yesterday's high after 6 p.m. If you notice right here, which was at about 740, I'd say, or 747. Now we have a new high. Let's see what happens today. I might just take a 1-to-1 today, depending on where price is. Once again, a lesson from yesterday is if it's close to the zone, I might just take the 1-to-1, or I just might risk it again, believing price can break through the supply zone. And if price does go down, I could look at this zone as well as this zone here, and possibly fill the rest of that gap. So those are some considerations. As of right now, there's been a lot of support off the 1580 MA since the gap fill. It's been steady. Let's see if it continues. Right now, it's getting support off the 50 EMA, but I do have divergence off that. I'm just going to mark it on the NQ. So for the divergence, I'm looking at the MACD. If price stays around the 0 on the MACD, that could signal that buyers are still in control and price will still move up. Let's do a quick check on the 5 minute. here I'm gonna take the bullish and the bearish and bullish candle of the 15. I mean, this area too would be a consideration. So this previous swing high could still be an area of support, especially if the 50 and the 80 may get to this point. I could definitely still push price up higher. Right now these can be considered almost equal highs to push price down. Oh, this would have been perfect. Or a nice perfect setup, maybe not quite wanting the fill, but enough to get the read that price was gonna push back up. Unfortunately, that happened at 2 in the morning. So unless you're willing to trade overnight, yeah, you could have captured that. This was from last night, around 8 o'clock. Where price exhausted and started pushing back down. And of course the target was this gap fill. So that would have been a really nice return. Okay, market's open. Doesn't look like it's gonna hold. So we have this swing low as well, which we wanna take into account. This could be an area of resistance to push price lower. We're at the 50 EMA right now, so gotta be careful if I'm considering entry. I'm waiting for a pullback to possibly go short. You definitely don't want to enter blindly because you just never know when the price will stop and reverse. So this is why you want to wait for your setup. And I'm not seeing anything off the M and Q which gives me any chance to enter. Aren't in the first zone, which discount could be 375. That's discount to go long. If you recall, I did say this would be equal highs to push price lower, which it has. There's also divergence off the MNQ, so a couple of confirmations. Okay, so this was a pullback. Entry would have been here at 375 to go short. Red did not take it. It would have been 1-to-1. So now the target could be this bottom area here. If price breaks through, we have the gap fill in the bottom here. This scenario definitely want to be highlighting the 5-minute. Okay, so this candle looks as though it'll be invalid. Once again, no, this was the first clear sign to take an entry at this position, but I didn't. this just might be a fake out and then a push back up. Sell order ready. If this is a pullback, then I'll take the short position. And my target will be down here. In this spot, if I was looking for a reversal, I'd want to see an engulfing candle, though this is also a favorite setup of mine for price to go long. An inverted hammer candle with a bearish and bullish candle. Same thing applies when I'm looking for price to go lower. Right? This isn't a fake out. If I take a loss on this one, I will be moving to the MNQ, and I'll be trading 2 to 3 contracts to make my way back. Once again, I'm targeting this area down here. I know I said I'd take the 1-to-1. At this point, I'm willing to risk it. If price doesn't take me out, maybe I'll chicken out and take the 2-to-1, which would bring me close to break even. I would be down about $100 if that's the case. I'm gonna move my stop loss to break even. Or actually, no, let's move it about halfway. Once again, and I give it some breathing room. But if you're not confident, just move it to break even. I want to target 3 to 1. I know I like the 4 to 1, but I'm not crazy about this setup. Like I said, it's a nice setup for a long position. That's if the candle closes in this formation. I like that we're getting some resistance off the 6 EMA. I would like that to continue further down. I'm not going to move it to break even. It'd be nice to get a bearish candle come in. So I got taken out. Once again, the 1 to 1 was available. I did not take the 1 to 1. I was holding for the 2 to 1. I could still look for another entry down here. So at this point, I could still take another trade. Let's see if this swing low will hold up. This zone is invalid at this point. Let's pull it back. Let's check the 5 minute. So this area was taken out. Okay, let's draw a zone out of the 5 minute for the supply zone. Targeting this area here. Now, had I taken the 1 to 1 yesterday, I would have only been down 700, and then this trade would have brought me back close to break even. I think it would have only been down $100 on the eval. So in hindsight, yeah, you gotta think of, once again, you want to take what the market gives you and be prepared when it doesn't, right? Had I moved my stop loss to about halfway, I would have lost a little bit more. And this is where your instinct has to come in. And sometimes price will get to this point where it's close to half, and then follows through all the way down. So that's happened before. It just comes down to whether or not you believe that's not what price will do. Okay, this might be another area to look for as a demand area. I look at the 1 minute. Yeah, this is getting a rejection off the 80 and 50 EMA off the MNQ currently. This is a strong engulfing candle. I might look at taking a short at 81 and a quarter, looking for a pullback off the MNQ for the entry, or even the NQ if one's available here. Now with this scenario, I'd be creating a higher low or lower high, because it hasn't broken the structure, so this would be a lower low. This is the lower high. So this might be the reversal in terms of pushing price back up. This pullback here. I'm not seeing anything I like off the MNQ or the NQ currently. I mean, I'm still getting resistance off the 50 MA for the MNQ. If it continues like this, I could target a possible short position. Do a quick check on that 1 minute. So it's entered the 1 minute right now, which could be providing that push back up. So we're seeing off the 5 minute. Any areas here that I've highlighted that isn't a candle, you know, it's off probably off a lower time frame. I'm getting rejection off the MNQ. Thinking of possible another short move. So it's off the 80 and 50 EMA. Close it out. I thought about taking it. Because I did get a rejection, like I said, off the 1580 EMA off the MNQ. See, this is a pullback. Mine is getting really close to the designated area that I want or was looking for. The target that I'd be looking for is probably around 156 and a quarter. One minute still holding up. Would consider this a pullback. $250. Hopefully there's no divergence. It'd be nice if we get a rejection here. It'd be great for the push down. I am considering the 2-to-1 at this point. Let's see if we can get a strong push. I mean, in a perfect world, I'd like for that gap fill to complete down here, right? But you just don't know. Because price could once again just target this low again and push back up. Price does take me out of this, I'll probably call it a day. And I'll move to MNQ starting Tuesday of next week. We're off the 1 minute right now. I might consider move the stop loss again to break even. Once again, I got that 1-to-1, and I'm still looking for that 2-to-1. Let's see if the 6 can hold. Nope, so it's taken out again. That's how it goes sometimes. What you're wanting versus what realistically is going to happen will happen. And once again, I had the opportunity to get the 1-to-1 here, and another opportunity for the 1-to-1 here as well. So, but that's on me. And you just move on to the next trade. So this is how you deal with the trades as you're moving along, whether it's a loss or a break even, right? Yeah. You remain calm and look for the next trade. You don't let your emotions get in the way. But I mean, that's easier for someone like myself who's been trading for about 5 years, right? Versus somebody who's just started out. Once again, this was off the 30-minute zone, right? And I was hoping the price would at least get down to the bottom here. But discount right now showing to be 218 3/4. I am getting slight divergence off the MNQ right here. So divergence is right here. I mean, I love this engulfing bearish candle. However, there are buyers here who are ready to push it back up in a demand zone. Okay, so let's highlight the swing high. See if price retraces here. Yeah, right now price is looking good at 218 and 3/4. Had you taken that entry? I mean, right now you're getting 2 to 1. We would have gotten at least 2 to 1 return. I'm generally looking for a 1 to 1. Like if I believe this was discount, right? I'd probably wait for an entry here, which would have provided at least a 1 to 1 return. What you can do if you're like me where you're hesitant to take that on the NQ, you can take it on the MNQ, which is a lot less risk, especially if you're using one or two contracts, even 3 contracts. So right now I'm using a full contract of the NQ, which is much riskier. See, this is a temporary pullback. Or is price actually starting to move down again? I mean, I could look at an entry at 312.5. I'm a little bit worried about the 50 EMA as being a resistance point. Had I taken this trade and this trade, that I would have only been down $100 on my eval right now. Unfortunately, I'm down 1,300. It might be 1,400 now because each time, even though I took the trade out of break even, you're still losing, I think, like $15 or $20, and that does add up. So I might be at 1,400, negative 1,400 right now. resistance here. See if it gets any support off this swing high. This last swing high. Price is gonna break through, since though we're still gonna head lower. To have a pull back off the MNQ, I wasn't quick enough. Wasn't quick enough to react to get in at 250. I was busy looking at the NQ. So we're targeting, this is yesterday's low down here. That could be a possible target. This gap fill could just get filled and push lower, which I've seen it. Which it could happen. Or we just might get the retracement right after it gets filled. I'll take this 1 minute zone off if price continues further down. I don't know if I want to take a chance and go even lower. I mean, if my setup's there, I mean it's there, right? So see, this is a pullback off the MNQ. $187.5 is what I would target for a short position. the zone seems to be holding up. So for now, I'm going to take out that order. So we're at the 80 and 50 EMA once again on the MNQ. Let's see if it's still an area of support or resistance. Mind you, the gap is even between the 80 and the 50 EMA. Price comes down to this section for the third time. It's either telling me that it's an area that's strongly supported, or it's actually going to break through this zone. This is the 1 minute zone. Right now we're getting the rejection off the 50 and 80 EMA, off the MNQ, which could be signaling strength in terms of price moving lower. Again, looking at an entry at 18 to 18 and 3/4. Looks close to filling that gap. Or shall I say the rest of that gap. It's pushing through the 15 minute. So I'm going to take off the 1 minute. Taking the entry at 8 to 18 and 3/4, close to the 2 to 1 return. see if we get a pullback here. Now, if price does fill this gap, the target will be this yesterday's low at 93 3/4. Or it could even go further down. I would have to be careful of divergence here. Like it could just fill right at 156 1/4 and push right back up. I don't think I'm willing to go short. If price does come here, I'm not willing to go short. I have divergence still. Still divergence here. Right now the zone's holding up the 15-minute. Price hasn't closed below it. It's wicked it right now, but not closed below it. I don't have that drawn out on my tick chart. Or else it'd be showing in this area right here currently. Once again, we're at the 1580 EMA. And lately, when I look back, it's literally been a rejection every single time. Like if I was thinking of going short again, I'd probably target 187 and a half. I might have to consider that. When I look back on the MNQ, like that's what's been happening since 9:45. price did actually fill this gap. See this area here? It actually filled it. So I'm going to take this off, but it definitely filled the gap and then pushed back up. Like that's literally textbook. Let's put a circle around it right here. Now it's textbook. So, and now price has actually broken through the 50 and 80 EMA. Let's see if it gets support off of it at this point. You can start seeing price moving back up. I'm getting a pullback right now off the MNQ. I could target a long position at 281.25. Take this off. Take the zone off, so that was the gap fill. $15 minutes still holding. So this 1 minute's gone. This might be a zone to look out for. And I'll have the 1 minute right here as well, right? I don't have any swing highs here to look for support, though there is off the MNQ. Prices come back to the 80 and 50. Let's see if we can get a push off here. Or is it going to continue through and keep going downwards? I did say I'd look for an entry at 187.5. If price were to go, if I did get the rejection off the 1580 MA. At this point, I'm not sure. Again, I'm getting quite a bit of divergence from this last area, like I said, so. So if I took an entry here, that wouldn't have been based off a pullback. It would have been off resistance from the 50 and 80 MA. I'd take the entry at 187.5. Mind you, right now, saying there could be a pullback off the MNQ right here. when I'm a little bit cautious. I know we have a lower low, which could be providing support for a push back up. As you can see right now, with the 15 EMA, it's still, the buyers are still in control. This price can push above there and get support and go higher. Right now, the sellers are still in control. This is a nice engulfing candle, which I didn't notice, but for those that did, provided another push up. I can get a pullback from the NMQ. I may look for a long position. Or, once again, if I see something on the NQ that I like, a pullback, then I'll take a long entry. I'll target this area up here if that's the case. If not, I want to look at probably around this area possibly. Where did I have the 1 minute? Yeah, around this area, which would be roughly 27,400. 27,400, so right around here, like I said. Let's see if price can break through and hold. Well, let's get support right here, which is a possibility. Sometimes it's not perfect, like I think you may have seen last week where it actually broke through, right? But then it stopped and then pushed back up higher. strong rejection. Really strong rejection. So I did say earlier that yesterday's low could be the target. So you got to keep that in mind. See if anything happens for the next 25 minutes. If not, I'm gonna call it a day. And we'll be back here on Tuesday morning. Yeah. Sellers are still in control. Okay, so now I'm getting a pullback of the MNQ. I did get one a little bit earlier. Wasn't focused on there. Could target 156 and a quarter. Go short. Once again, I'm trying for that 2 to 1. So this one's still holding up off the 15-minute. I don't want to think that 187.50 could as well be the discount area to go long. I mean, I still consider this like I guess it would be a lower low, but I would still look at this point as being higher than this low. So that can be, or I would use this area as a support for price to push up higher. That's if it closes up higher. But right now it's kind of staying around this level. I might look at a short position. 156 and a quarter. Thinking price will go even shorter. Or sorry, lower. Targeting, of course, yesterday's low. I do have to pull back off the NQ. See if we get any resistance off the 10 and the 6 EMA. We're pushed down. This is an inverted hammer that shows that sellers are still in control. Let's see how this candle closes. Buyers are trying to push it back up. Right now 187.5 is looking like the position to go long off of, or the price to go long off of. Let's see what happens at the 50 MA once again. We did get some rejection at the 80 MA. See if there's any at the 50. Right now, price is going sideways on the M and Q. So that's not helping. Currently, it's not helping at all. So right now, my attention is on the NQ more or less. Alright, let's see if anything's happened within the next 20 minutes. Yeah, so far this 15-minute, oh, it actually, sorry, let's look at the 15. I mean, 5-minute, that'll show as being, 15 minutes show as it wicked that area, but not closed it. So you notice it wicked the area, but didn't close below it. So it's still a valid zone. Looking at taking my order off again. And I'll just wait. See if we get another rejection from the 50 and the 80 to push even lower. Or we could be creating a higher low at some point and price could move up. Oh, definitely great price action around this area, and then price is just stalling at this point. So this is what you don't want to get caught up in. Is when price starts consolidating. Just to be clear, I've not taken any trade. Transparency is everything, and as you notice, I've taken trades. Sorry, I have taken trades, just I didn't hold for the profit. I was looking for the 2 to 1, so I've taken 2 trades. One right here. Let me pull this out. So, taken one right here, and I got stopped out at break even. I took another trade right here and got stopped out at break even again. So, I was looking for the 2 to 1. It didn't work out. And like I said earlier in the video, you take what the market gives you, and yeah, I mean, I could have just taken the 1 to 1, but I thought I'd aim for the 2 to 1 return. So if you're happy with the 1 to 1, go, take the 1 to 1. In my case, I was looking for the 2 to 1. I probably lost, I think, $15 to $20 for every break even that I take. Okay, right now the 187 and a half was the discount. My price came back down a second time. Push back up. I'm just gonna put this on the 5-minute and draw out the zone that I did not draw out. That would have been, no, sorry, it was the 15-minute. It's a 15-minute, so let's see. This was the area that I was thinking price would hold and push back up. Take off these markers. this is a pullback, I might actually target a long position at 312.5. Just seeing resistance off the MNQ. There's really no clear pullback. Hopefully we can get one that is clear enough for me to take an entry. If not, I just don't enter at all. I'll get a buy order ready. It's really not a pullback, so I gotta be cautious if I'm taking the entry. I mean, there's support coming off the 10 EMA for the MNQ. If this candle closed further down, just slightly down, I would consider it a pullback and look for that position here to go long. Let's see how this candle closes. At this point, I'm taking a chance if I'm taking the entry, so I'm in at this point. You know what? I'm just going to target the 1-to-1 right now. I've had 1-to-1 all day, and I guess this is what I'm looking at. I'll take what I can get at this point. And that's how you gotta view it too at this point, right? See if we can get some support to go up and complete this move. I know this was the target was. I was looking at 24. So I was looking it up here, which would have been great for a 3-to-1 return. Just the way my day's been going, I'm gonna just take the 1-to-1 if I can get it. Okay, so I got my 1-to-1. And I believe I'm currently down 700, maybe 800. Let's see how this plays out. I'll definitely be signing off in 5 minutes. And yeah, so, you just gotta hold on to the trade and take what the market gives you, right? I mean, if it moves there, which I think it will, that's just how it works out. I had the chance to stay in the trade, and from the way my trade's been going today, the 1-to-1 just seemed to be what the market was going to give me today, at least earlier on. Yeah, I'm not looking at a missed opportunity either, even if price gets to, what is it, 27,400 is where I thought price would get to. And you can't look at it that way. You just gotta think of the opportunity that you had and live with it, right? We'll be here to trade another day. And I want people to realize too that I did take a chance off this this pullback. I mean, it's really not clear. I would have preferred this candle to close beneath this bearish candle and then push up. However, I was seeing support off the 10 EMA for the MNQ, so that's what led me to the decision to take the long position here, right? Looks like the 2-to-1 could play out here. If the MNQ looks like it's getting there. See, the move is complete. Price is slightly retracing. Right, the 2-to-1 definitely would have got me 2-to-1, as you notice. I got out here. I could have definitely held on this position. I guess my worries were price could have stopped here and started coming back down to this area that I've highlighted off the 15-minute supply or demand zone. And that's what I was thinking. And sometimes you just get this straight move that just goes up, right? I mean, the only pullback was right here. So, alright, I think I'm gonna call it a day. And I'll see everybody on Tuesday.